I'm Miss Michelle from the Robbinsville branch, and today we are going to do a fun sensory science experiment. We are going ice fishing. Not for fish, but for ice cubes. And this is a great experiment because you can use your 5 senses and you can use materials that you have around your house. Now, the very first thing you're going to need is your parents' permission, and then some water, ice cubes, a bowl, some yarn or string, and salt. Now, we said we could use all 5 of our senses with this, so you can start by doing some tasting if that's okay with your grown-up. You can taste your water, your ice, and your salt. Now, I'm not gonna do that here, but you can do it at home. Then you can do a little bit of touching. How does that water feel? Did you choose cold water or warm water? What about your ice cubes? Are they a little bit slippery? Are they warm or cold? What do you think? How does your yarn or string feel? My yarn is very, very soft. And you can also feel your salt granules. And I use 2 different sizes of salt because when we get to looking, I want it to be able to see 2 separate sizes. And since we're talking about looking, we'll start with our salt. You can see I have 2 different sizes there, but they're still both very small. And our ice cubes are kind of clear. And I used an ivory colored yarn. What color did you use? Now, my water is clear, but we can change that with a little bit of food coloring, right? And you can choose whatever color you like at home. You can mix some colors together. I'm just gonna make mine blue by adding a little bit of food coloring to that, just a couple drops, and stirring it up. There we go. Now we have some lovely blue water. You didn't smell anything. Let's see. No, my water doesn't really have a smell to it. Neither do my ice cubes. Not the salt either. But you can change that too at home if you wanted. You could add some drops of lemon juice and you could smell some lemons or something else that you might like to smell at home. Now, the last thing is hearing. And you can kind of hear your water splash just a little bit in the cup, and you can hear your ice cubes rattle. They're quite a bit louder than the water, right? And if I swirl this in the cup, do you hear that? I can hear my salt. I'm really gonna hear my water in a second because we are gonna get ready to pour that right into our bowl here. Ready? Let's pour it in. There we go. We've got our water in there and we're gonna add our ice. And we wanna add just a few and we wanna make sure that it's kind of floating. If it's not floating, you can add a little bit more water to it. Just like that. I'm gonna put just a little bit more water in mine. Now I'm going to take my yarn, here it is, and I'm gonna run that kind of over my ice cubes here. Nothing happened, I didn't catch anything. Did you catch anything? All right, we're gonna change that up and we're going to put our salt in, lots and lots of salt. And we're gonna count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It worked. We caught an ice cube. But how did that happen? Well, my salt lowered the freezing temperature of my ice cube. And since it couldn't get any colder, it started to melt just a little bit. And then it refroze and it trapped the yarn right to the ice cube. And that's how we were able to go ice fishing. Now, if you try that at home with other things like baking soda or sugar, is it gonna work the same way? Do you think that they also lower the freezing temperature of water? I don't think so, but that's a good experiment to try because when you do an experiment, you should create your hypothesis, what you think is going to happen, and then set up your experiment. So you would sprinkle your baking soda and count to 10 and see if you can catch an ice cube, just like we did here today. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.